So
Hello.
welcome,
Thank you.
welcome. And did you want to go by your
Sure. Yeah, I'm
name
the cosmic
or
I'm the cosmic threader. My real name is Tim, but I go by the cosmic threader on Instagram, so it's at cosmic_threader.
okay,
Hello.
great. Yes. Um, so you had asked me off camera about my YouTube. So I
Yeah.
started my YouTube channel before I did my podcast, and it was really an exercise in vulnerability because I used to do tarot years ago and
Oh, cool.
I'd stopped doing tarot. I had some heartbreak and the
Oh, I'm
cards
sorry.
were very sad for me. Like
Oh.
when I picked up the tarot, it just felt really, really sad. There was nothing
Oh,
there was nothing wrong with the tarot.
you just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I just didn't want to go to that place.
Yeah.
Was it a time um I was 21
Oh,
and
wow. So you were quite young.
yeah, I was 21
Yeah.
and I basically had my eyes opened. I woke up because I was asleep for most of my there's a certain point in my childhood that I went to sleep because I was awake during most
Mm.
of my childhood. And then a certain point in my childhood, I went to sleep and I woke up at 21 on my birthday.
On your birthday. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Wow.
I had a really terrible pain in my hand that wouldn't go away, and my hand was pink. Like the palm of my hand. The palm of my hand is very pale considering the fact that I'm a dark skinned person, and it
And
was
it was
very
so for it to be pink that something is up, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Um, and I was in nursing school and not quite sure why I was there. I was being the dutiful daughter, doing what my mom wanted,
So
getting
you were a good girl, Serafina? Were you a good girl?
on the surface.
On the surface. We
Terrible.
all are on the surface, right? I mean, I'm not a good girl, but you know what I mean.
Yes, yes. So I was just at a really confused part of my life, and um, my hand hurt for that entire day. And then the next day, the hand itself didn't hurt, but there was a spot below my what is the hand? I can't tell right to left. Well, so in my
uh,
left hand, my left
that's your
hand
left hand,
under
yeah.
my little finger,
Yeah.
there was a spot just under in that fleshy part under the little finger. It was very pink,
Okay.
and then I noticed that I had new lines in there, and it was in the shape of
Wow. So
a
your hand.
pentagram.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I had a pink pentagram under my little finger, and it freaked me the out.
That would freak me out. Is it still there? Can you
It's
still
still
see
there.
it? Wow,
It's still there.
that's crazy.
Um, over the course of a few months, I realized that I could change the lines around it and I could shape shift it from a pentagram to a pentacle. Like it would grow and
Wow.
get bigger, and there's a make a circle around it. That used to be my drunk party trick
Wow.
to freak people out.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
would
So
show people
you're
like,
a shapeshifter.
yeah.
You're a shapeshifter.
So
Just with your hand, or can you do other things?
now that you've asked me, I'm gonna start to try.
Yeah, because that's the whole
That's
point of
not a
being a
good idea.
shapeshifter,
When
right?
I was younger, as a child, right?
Yeah.
I made my eyes turn blue. I've never told anyone.
Wow.
I made my eyes turn blue because
Yeah. So you're a shapeshifter. Yeah.
there
That's
was
amazing. What an
there is
amazing
another
talent.
shapeshifter in in my family, but I don't necessarily want to out her on here.
Right.
But
But
she
you're outing yourself right now.
yes. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happened, and
Yeah.
then when that happened, a lot of I basically what would say collapsed the timeline, but in a very, very dramatic and traumatic way. I
Oh no.
was beaten up by a bunch
Oh,
of white nationalists called
oh no. Oh
National
no.
Front in the UK.
That's
I was in
awful.
the hospital and had a really, really bad concussion. And during the concussion, that's when I started hearing voices and
Mm,
started seeing things and feeling all kinds of strange things. But I thought it was the concussion. And it just really, that was the opportunity for me to stop my life. Like I was given
yeah.
off from university. Everybody, I now had an excuse to feel lost and confused.
Yeah.
Um,
Isn't it interesting how when we go through trauma, like we go through terrible things in our lives, but it opens up other things that we wouldn't have noticed, right? If we didn't go through that trauma.
exactly.
Um,
It
yeah.
made, because I had an external excuse for everything that was happening internally now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it made because again, in the way that I was raised, I didn't really have um the I needed justifications for how I felt.
Mm.
Right? I couldn't just feel bad. I couldn't just be sad, you
You
know?
needed a reason.
I needed
Yeah.
a reason, right?
Yeah.
Because you're sad. Why are you sad for? Why you have this great family and and these are things that was
Yeah.
said and reinforced. So I never felt that my feelings were valid.
Mm. Do you identify as a starseed, Serafina? Sorry, I haven't really done my research on you.
I don't like
You
the
don't like it?
I don't
Yeah.
like that term because I really think I know that a lot of people really hold on to it. And I
Yeah.
understand why that they hold on to the star seed. And I would use it in my vocabulary to have a relatable conversation with somebody. But
Yeah.
what I understand about what's happening, um, I can see why that is not exactly accurate. Um,
Interesting. Interesting.
Also, because we are of Earth, I think it is, and because we are on this Earth experiment, which it is an experiment, it's a mediation of sorts. Um,
Oh, that's an interesting way of saying it. It's a mediation.
it's a mediation of sorts.
Yeah.
I think it is while the past experiences of other expressions of self
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
valid. I think that we really need to identify in our humanness because it's our
Yeah.
humanness that is
Yeah.
the point of resolving all of the conflict.
I'm happy.
Conflict
I'm
in
happy
the
to hear you.
galaxy is
Yeah.
our humanness.
Yeah.
That
For
is
sure.
the equalizing factor.
I'm so happy you used the term earth-based because I think if you are a shapeshifter, as a shapeshifter, um, you were put here specifically, I think, for a reason. Have you figured that out yet? Like what your specific mission is?
I think I did. And then I got so caught up in the experiment and just absolutely loved it here and decided, you know what, I'm just gonna just have some fun while I'm
Just
here.
have fun. Why not, right? Yeah.
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 So what I understand about some of the experiences that I had journeying through this experiment, uh, I was like, man, I'm not doing this time around. Let me just have some fun.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah.
have some fun. Yeah, it is such a juicy, juicy place to have a lot of fun. It is a big amusement park and merry-go-round. And I think people can really get lost. I think people who choose the mission here can really get lost in the fun of it all and
Yeah.
forget the real purpose or intention that they're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a little while to get back to that. So yeah, I think I've had
Yeah.
some fun times where I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to take a vacation this time around.
Well, you sound like Serafina. That's a lovely name, by the way, Serafina. You sound like you're way ahead of me because I only woke up about 3 years ago. So I'm just starting to figure this out,
I
you know.
I'm chicken shit, really. I am because
Are
every
you? You don't
I
seem
am
like it to
totally,
me. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I will call
Hmm.
myself out and say I am complete coward. I wake up and then go to sleep, and wake up and go to sleep, wake up and go to sleep. And I know that that's part of the process because
Just because you don't want to deal with it, or
yes,
oh,
absolutely.
okay.
Oh my God.
So
You
so it's
know,
avoidance.
it's like, this is
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
avoidance.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the
it is a
only
lot.
thing
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that I used to like write notes to myself and stuff on these notebooks, and then
I have a notebook right here. There's my
and then
notebook.
lose them, and then find them the next time I wake up that there was a because I start a new notebook, and then I wait a minute, then the old notebook shows up, and then I have all these notes, and I was like, but I've been here before and I did this.
I do doodles.
Oh, that's
There's my
lovely.
notebook. That's called a Merkaba. You're probably familiar with the Merkaba, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna get a tattoo of that, but I have no tattoos right now. I'm a chicken shit when it comes to tattoos.
So I fall asleep, and then when I wake up, I recognize that, oh, you really are chicken shit because you were awake,
Oh.
you knew all this stuff, and then you purposefully went back to
Mm.
sleep. Because the last time I woke up, I found 7 notebooks
Wow.
stuff. And I was
Wow.
like, are you really gonna
Huh.
do this again? Are you gonna fall asleep again? I fall asleep again, because then I remember all the times that I was awake and
Yeah.
all the stuff that I did and wrote down. So I've been doing this for 20 years.
Wow. Wow. So how many do you sleep, like many hours, or like everyone is different, right? In the number of hours of sleep that they like to get?
Well, every time I go through transformation, like every time I awake, my body changes completely. And I go through like my body changes, like I get a whole new body, and
Wow.
I reinvent myself and reinvent my life. So I'm
Yeah.
in the process right now. So I'm getting I'm getting very little sleep during these transformational times. Very, very
Do you
little.
call it, some people call it downloads. Do you call it downloads or no? You don't like that term either. That's interesting.
I don't necessarily like the term downloads,
Yeah.
because when you say downloads, then you mean that there's a tap, right? I might use some plumbing references because I'm a
Yeah.
plumber.
Yeah.
And so you have like this butterfly valve that you turn, this peg
Right.
that you turn on and off. Um, and while I understand that that is really helpful for people's psyche,
Just to visualize the tap. Interesting.
yeah, I find that
Yeah.
that's really helpful for people's psyche to feel themselves and separate from the
Whatever it
information.
is, right.
But
Yeah.
you know, and yet they use the language that they're plugged in, and their higher self is them, and it is, but they need to
Yeah.
have a process to go through
Yeah.
that they are out of control of to receive the information. And I
Yeah.
think
See,
that
I don't mind. See, I call it downloads, but there's always permission, right? There's some sort of permission. It's not like this information is just going to come in without my permission. At least that's how I feel. I mean, I don't know if that's accurate or not, but
yeah, and I understand, because a lot of people that I meet question their own sanity.
I have, yeah, I still do.
They,
I still do. Yeah.
especially in the North American systems where people have not had support or understanding.
Very judgmental. If I told any of this stuff to my parents, they would call the police and say he's crazy.
Yes.
Take him, put him in a padded room. He's lost his mind.
Yes.
And it's still like that here. You're so right. You're dead on with that, Serafina.
And especially within the Christian institutional systems, which a lot of Western world.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I still identify as a Christian, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more of a spiritualist than a religious, if that makes sense.
Right.
I still attend the church and I do what I can. Like I sing, I'm a singer. So I'll sing the hymns for them. But I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the teachings that have been bastardized. I mean, maybe that's a pretty harsh word. It's
Perfect.
a harsh word, but you know, I think it's
It's a
accurate.
perfect word. I use it
Yeah,
often.
yeah, yeah,
And so I understand that people who have these seeds of that they're not quite right, and their slow acceptance to that there is nothing wrong with them, still need that buffer that this is not them.
yeah. Well, they need to hear this. So they need to hear your show and this will help them. I mean, I feel like this is helping me go, oh, okay, I'm fine. I'm normal, right? I don't have to, you know, I'm normal for me, whatever normal means, right?
Exactly.
Because that word is not a very
That
good word.
information
Yeah.
is your information. This is not something that is being given to you. This is something that you know. And when you accept that that is your information and that you know this, and that cloud, I like to use the word cloud, right, is you, then it's this avatar me. And do I even exist?
I take pictures of clouds all the time. I'm going to send you some cloud pictures right now.
Mhm. And do I even exist? Is
That's
this
a great question. That's a
is
really
this
great
just
question.
some sort of program that the cloud is running? And then you will get real what you call, people can really go into crisis. Like, am I me? And what is me? And does me even exist? Right?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
And not, and having had those kinds of crises before, a lot of people are not willing to go down that road, and I respect that and I understand that. Which is why I think a lot of historical information that has been put out in the spiritual, and I'm using spiritual in air quotes, community has been in that language.
Yeah.
That it's outside of you, that it's
Yeah.
not you, that it's downloads. And
Yeah.
that is also true.
Do you know the term false light, Serafina?
I
Have you
do
heard
know the
this one?
term false light.
Yeah. Have you encountered it? I think I've encountered it.
I have encountered what would be called um, charlatans in the human
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
And
100%.
I have encountered their projections.
Yeah. I had a false twin. I don't know if you've ever heard of a false twin.
I have heard of false twins.
Yeah.
And again, I think that these are really interesting, and I want people to like not beat themselves up for the path that they've taken, you know,
Yeah.
the path that they not beat yourself up, because there is a lot of, I have problems. I read a lot of books, but a lot of the books, I read a lot less of these spiritual books now, because a lot of these books are bastardizations of Eastern concepts that Western people who do not have full cultural appreciation of these concepts westernize it, bastardize it, and edit it into a framework that makes sense
Yeah.
to them and their readers.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree
Like
100%.
Western
There's a lot of
yoga.
there's
Like
so
Western
yeah, oh
yoga.
yeah, yeah. There's so much misinformation, right?
Yeah,
I mean, and it's some of it is just lost in translation, I'm sure, but some of it is intentional as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that it is intentional, because um, there is a particular Western master that I'm not gonna name because he might sue me, and I don't have money for that.
Let me see if I can guess who it is.
Okay.
Okay, you describe it and I'll see if I can guess.
And so he portrays himself as a Western master, but he is not a Western master. He was supposed to be the Western master. He was recruited, and I know this because I know the Western Master. He's actually a
So
family.
he's a
He's a
shill, is what
family
you're
member.
saying.
The Western Master is actually a family member of mine. So
He's your uncle or something.
yeah, he's my cousin. But
He's your cousin. Okay. Wow.
so so he was recruited because I
Is
don't
he a doctor?
his
Does he go by
guru-
doctor?
I think he may have been given a few honorary PhDs.
Yeah. Okay. I think I know who you're
Um,
talking about.
And so he was recruited, and I don't know how these gurus recruit people. I guess they just send out their vibes in the world and pull their people in. And so he spent many, many years in India learning these esoteric practices, right? And these are very closed schools.
And now he's very famous in America.
Very famous.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm not going to say it
Very
either because
famous.
I.
But the thing is that in that traditional school, he's considered
He's a guru. He's a god, right? Almost.
rubbish.
Yeah.
He's considered in that traditional school. He's considered rubbish because he quit
Oh, I see what you mean. Like
before
back
he
east. Yeah,
graduated.
yeah.
Like he never finished the program because he did not have the discipline to go through the process.
So you're saying he's
had
a
an ego
charlatan?
issue and thought that he had an ego issue, right? But because
Of course
that
he
is
does. Of course
the
he does.
ego
Yeah.
part, right? If you've ever know the story of Buddha, his big challenge, like after he went through everything, was facing his own shadow. It was his ego self. That was his biggest challenge. Because you think that you become so great and that you know so much and that your ego just expands. And like, you know, as Christians say,
Yeah.
you only have a few more miles to go. You reach paradise.
Yeah.
Till you make it, a few more miles to go. So you kind of reach there and you're thinking
Yeah.
you're the shit. And and so he says, well, you know, this stuff is old fashioned and we need to bring it into the modern age. And
So who is he working for? Do you know?
himself. What do you mean who is he working for? He's like,
Well, you say that he was recruited. Who recruited him?
okay, so he was recruited into these the traditional schools, right? To learn all
Okay.
these, like a lot of this stuff did not come out in the Western world until because they were choosing a Western master to bring this in. Now they had during the Beatles time, there was that guy and he did a lot for it and stuff like that, but they needed to extend even further and they wanted to the guru had a mandate, really, he received a mandate to spread the teachings, right? To no longer leave it as a cultural thing and really spread it through the rest of the world. So this was their evangelizing the world, using another Christian concept. And so he quit and went and started his foundation and started doing all this stuff and bastardizing the people thing and made a lot of money.
Ton of money, I'm sure. Yeah.
And then they had to go and find another guy.
Oh no.
And set up their foundation, which they did.
Oh no.
What they wanted was another foundation. They had to set up a whole new separate thing in the Americas. And now, considering the fact that you think that they teach the same thing, one is private and one is non-profit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For himself.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do, right? So what do you say to him? Do you talk to him very often or?
That guy?
Yeah.
No.
That guy, your cousin. Do you talk to your cousin?
Okay, my cousin. You know, he's considered a little weird in my family.
Is he? Yeah.
He's considered a little weird in my family.
Well, he is a little bit weird, isn't he? Yeah, he is a little bit weird. He's rich, but I'm sure he's rich.
He's not.
No?
He's not. His job, I think that they learned to the last time around that giving somebody that amount of power and using that sort of Western structure was a recipe for disaster. And so they structured the organization a little bit different. So he is a teacher.
Okay, so he does okay. He's like a
He's
basic.
a teacher, and so he's the teacher,
yeah.
he's a facilitator, and he is not the head. There is no head.
Interesting. Well, there probably is, but you won't know who he is, right?
No.
They're hiding. It's probably Klaus Schwab or some villain like that, right?
The head, no, there is no, it's a very flat organization in the fact that,
okay, so it actually has a good structure, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to see more organizations have a flat structure and share any profits amongst everyone equally. I mean, I think a lot of us would like to see that. You know, this pyramid thing has been going on for so long, and it's so stupid, right? Because it creates this horrendous economic imbalance, it creates poverty, it creates drug problems. I don't know why our system was ever structured this way to begin with. I guess control, I mean, it really doesn't make any sense to me. It never has. I've always bucked the system because I don't understand it. I don't understand why it's structured this way. So I fight against it. I fight with the police all the time. They never arrest me because I'm not a criminal. But I don't agree with the lockdowns. I don't agree with how they're enforcing them. But I don't agree with how they were functioning before the lockdowns. They were beating people up for no reason. They were arresting people for no reason in Canada, which is supposed to be this free society, right? This wonderful place.
But nobody really thinks that.
No, people don't think that the cops are beating people up in Canada, but they are.
No, I mean, people outside of Canada don't really think that.
They don't realize. Yeah, they think it's a wonderful.
Only people in Canada think that, and I think that's the American thing.
People in America think that. Yeah, people in America.
Yeah. Okay, so Canadians.
But not in Trinidad. You guys know better.
Canadians and North Americans too.
Yeah.
They're two. And you'll have a very similar history in the foundation of your state.
Yep.
And so while Canadians think that they can use the right language to appear to be a particular way, like the UK, they're very good at using the correct language. It is the actions that the rest of the world sees.
Yeah. Well, and then you get authors, like prominent authors from the UK, like Anne Rawlings. Is that her name? The one who wrote Harry Potter, J.K. Rawlings. J.K. Rawlings. What do you think of her? Is she a shill for the state? Is she?
I don't know.
Is she her own woman?
Except the fact that she's transphobic.
Is she transphobic?
All I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you haven't read. You don't read the books. The books are very popular here.
I don't read the books.
No. Okay. Yeah. It's too pop culture.
When I was at university, they were recruiting for the films, the extras for the films.
Oh, cool! And did you go out for that?
No, but my roommates did, and they are in the films.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, and Rupert Grint's sister, she was also in the film. She was my flatmate.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
And is that the first film, the very first one? Is that?
And everybody was Harry Potter crazy, and I just didn't get it because
you didn't care. Yeah.
Well, because I ran with the real witches, and it was it was silly. It was unbelievably silly. It was like. So
do you identify as a witch then, Serafina?
I identify as a witch more because I have the and I try not to tie myself to it because I have the formal training. So so I understand.
When you said that, the right side of your face changed.
Sorry?
The right side of your face changed very quickly into something else when you said I have the formal training. So your body, I suspect that your body knows how to transform everything, you just have to remember, like fully remember.
Probably.
So I think you just gave yourself a huge hint.
Oh,
You
that's
gave
what I
yourself a
was like,
huge hint.
oh my God. Okay, is this some more work that I have to do? Like I just got over the last stuff.
Oh no.
Don't
Think of it.
I know myself.
Think
I'm
of it
gonna
as
put it on
fun.
the list, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden things are gonna start happening. And I just dyed my hair, and I really want to keep this color. So
Yeah. Think of it as fun. Don't think of it as work. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I mean, I know transformation is incredibly difficult because I'm going through it. It can be, but it can also be wonderful.
it can be.
Yeah.
I try to laugh myself through it all. Yeah, I just try to laugh myself through it.
Yeah. I'm on the twin flame journey, which is, oh my God. I mean, it is,
I don't have that.
you don't have it? It might show up for you. You don't think so?
Well, I thought maybe because I really wanted it. I really wanted that experience. And so I thought, and I got somebody to convince me that that was what it was, as I do. And then it was like, I was like, this is so not fun.
It isn't fun. I had
Like,
I had the false twin show up. You'll have a false twin show up first, and they will try to destroy you. Yeah.
Okay, so just, and then I was over it.
Okay, so it was maybe a soulmate, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was a soulmate, and it was a soul contract, and I understand what it was. It was because of family stuff.
Okay.
Like our family has a lot of traumatic
past
together.
Past stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Families. And so yeah, but no. no. I if I have a twin, I don't know.
When you're ready.
Next question, because I know when I say
things. When you're ready, I think they'll show up.
I'm not ready.
But you have to be ready. You're not ready. Yeah, you have to want it, right? You have to actually want it. You're happy, you're having fun with yourself right now.
What is it I'm supposed to want in this twin flame journey? I'm supposed to want?
You have to want to co-create with somebody. So it's usually a creative journey, I think, at least for me it is.
Right.
You have to want to give love and receive love in huge quantities, and you have to be willing to share everything. I mean, it's like a marriage, right? It is a marriage.
Okay, so I'm there.
Yeah.
I've just said, I've just really done a lot of work with regards to that, and I'm in a place where I feel okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I have
built
the foundation.
But Serafina, prepare yourself, because these people, as much as you love them, they will challenge you in ways that you will hate them on some days, because
like my mother.
Like your mother, yeah. I mean, maybe your mother's your twin flame. I don't know. I hope not, but for your sake. Like your mother. Oh yeah, they will stretch you, they will challenge you, they will frustrate you.
And surprise the hell out of you every time.
Yeah.
That's life. I have so many twins. So many twins.
Interesting. Well, maybe it's possible. I don't know. Is it possible to have more than one? Probably.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really, I wanted it because the idea of this sort of kind of mystical, love, lost, longing, melancholy kind of thing is kind of like my jam. That's like, I love those kinds of movies. It's like, oh my God, the pain of love.
Are you a Libra? You're not a Libra, are you?
Oh, I'm so not. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, you're a Virgo. Okay. I'm a Libra, but I'm on the cusp. I'm like a Libra Virgo.
Okay.
And when I listened to your last episode with I forget her name, Groove and Goddess,
Mm-hmm.
There was something about you. I thought, I think she might be a Libra because I think I'm going to get along really well with Serafina. But you're a Virgo. That's interesting.
I'm Virgo, Sagittarius moon.
Yeah. Okay, so you're very organized. Is that right? The super organized. Some people would say that you're anal, but that's maybe going too far.
I think I've worked on that. My sister actually spent a significant amount of time and energy frustrating me in that way because she thought
Okay.
it funny to move things about from where I had them placed.
Mm.
And so it became a joke in the house. So I got over it fast. You know, I haven't gotten over it fast. I now have my own space, so I don't have to worry about other people moving.
That's better. Yeah, that's way better, right? Yeah. So are you in a house? Are you in an apartment? What
Yes,
are you?
I am in my own house that I own.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, it is lovely to have my own.
And do you have a garden there? I love to garden myself.
I have a front and back. The back is just wild grass at the moment because
Okay.
yeah, I haven't done anything with it because I haven't figured out what I want to do in the back. But in the
You
front,
should put in a fruit tree and maybe some herb gardens or
yes, but
something.
I have some commitment
Yeah.
issues because if I put in a tree, then it has to stay, and I have commitment with regards to what I want to stay where in the back.
Mm.
So I don't want to commit.
You don't want to have a tree.
Yeah, I don't want to commit to any trees yet. So I have plants, and I have really pretty turf lawn that I planted myself. I dug up
Oh, nice.
and laid all the stuff and planted the grass and made it my pet.
Oh, wow. Because you have a good climate for growing there, don't you? Like you can
Yeah.
grow like all year. Can you grow stuff?
Yes, you can grow.
Wow, that's amazing.
But you wouldn't. There's certain things that you wouldn't because of the rains. So
Okay.
you would choose the seasons, and then certain plants
Hey.
have their own, like certain fruits, certain things come into season naturally, and we stick with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's mango season, which is a big thing.
Is it mango season there?
It's coming?
It's coming. Wow, I love mangoes. I love mangoes.
In mango season, there will be mangoes plentiful everywhere. And
wow. See, we can't grow stuff like that up here. It's too cold. We can grow grapes, but we can't grow papayas or mangoes. Nothing like that grows here.
Yeah, it wouldn't taste nice.
No, you couldn't. You don't have enough growing season. It's too short here.
I've tasted mangoes that was grown in places that did not have.
Yeah. Well, you see how pale I am, Serafina? It's because we're only just getting the spring equinox now. I'm still wearing gloves. Here it is. It's April. I'm still wearing gloves. It's chilly. It's chilly.
But you're in British Columbia?
British Columbia, yeah. Yeah. I'm in a place they call the Okanagan right now. I was on a film set. Kevin Costner is somehow involved with. I think he wrote this one, and they're shooting it here.
Like him.
Do I look like him?
You look like Kevin Costner.
Maybe a little bit. I think my nose is probably too big, but and I don't have the right accent. Maybe I should try to do an impression of him. I'll work on an impression. If you have me on the show again, I'll do an impression for you.
I'm not a fan.
Okay. I won't do an impression for you. You didn't like Field of Dreams? I liked Field of Dreams. No, you didn't enjoy that film? No. What else was he in?
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves.
I thought The Postman was the silliest thing I've ever seen.
Do you have a favorite Hollywood actor? Or any actor? It doesn't have to be a Hollywood actor. This is taking some thought. Maybe you don't like actors. I don't know.
No, I think there are a lot of people who do really good work, and I admire the skill. But I can't say that there is somebody whose film is out and that I have to go and see it. Like,
I feel the same way. Yeah, anybody that's lining up outside waiting for the cinema to open, that's so silly, right? I mean, live your own life. Be in your own movie, star in your own movie.
And my life is, I don't know, it's like a C drama. 50 something plus episodes.
Would you do a movie if I produce a movie and I have a role for you? Will you agree to do it?
Yes, that'll be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I someday I want to produce a feature, and my plan is to bring everybody that I've interacted with during this. You know, I have two podcasts and I have one YouTube channel. So
Right.
everyone that I've met on this journey, I'm going to try to put them in this film.
Okay. Can I play a bog witch?
A bog witch? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think I can do a bog witch really well.
Okay. So now I have to have a bog scene. Okay.
That's cool.
You're cast. So any producers out there that are watching this, please give us money so we can produce this feature film. And it sounds like it's going to be supernatural, a supernatural film. We'll shoot it here in British Columbia.
Oh my God, the fairies have just gotten crazy because they want to be on it.
They're in. You're in. They're in. Bring the fairies. Bring your shapeshifting. Learn how to shapeshift. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't invite.
Don't encourage them.
I don't.
Are they going nuts right now?
Yeah. They've been after me to go on TikTok. I think they're gonna get really annoyed.
On TikTok? Yeah, I'm not on it yet.
I think they're gonna crash my phone because because I haven't actually done anything. I have a wonderful relationship with the Fae. Wonderful. They try to frustrate me intensely, and I am so here for it because I know exactly which button to push to make them absolutely bog crazy. So
Did
so we
you
frustrate
become
each other.
did you become aware of them when you were in the UK, or did you find them in Trinidad?
No, I found them in Trinidad.
In Trinidad.
But Trinidad is filled with faith, filled with faith.
Wow.
But
Wow.
what I came across was in my own family because I actually have faith bloodlines.
You know, it just occurred to me, are you somehow connected to Pamela, who did the first tarot deck? I forget her last name. Are you somehow connected with her, your bloodline? She's the one that did the art for the first tarot deck.
I don't know who that is. I thought the first tarot deck was the.
It's called the. No, it came after that. The Rider-Waite deck. It's credited with being an early deck, anyways. I'll get her name here for you.
Oh,
I think her first name is Pamela.
Okay. So I'm hearing that that they told her this story, and she wrote it down and created the deck. Is that?
Yeah, she did all the paintings or drawings. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you somehow connected with her? For some reason I just got a
all for your family.
Yeah.
All for your family.
I think
and
you're
she is a daughter and a sister in the faith. And all for your family. So
yeah. Pamela Coleman Smith.
Coleman, that's a family name. Okay,
so you're connected with her. I think you even look a little bit like her. I'm going to try to find a picture of her here. This is interesting.
Coleman's a family name.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
Coleman on my dad's side. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the Irish English line.
Do you have that deck?
I do. I have it.
And does it resonate for you?
It is the first deck that I use.
Yeah. Holy cow, you do look like her a little bit.
I do?
I think so. Yeah, pull it up. Do you have your Google on? Wow, you might have been her. Like, do you believe in past lives?
I do. I recently found one.
Holy cow, I think you were her.
Pamela Coleman.
Pamela Coleman Smith. I mean, you don't look exactly like her, but there are similarities here.
Oh, they don't want me to find it. Oh my God, something's happening. Okay, wait.
The fairies are intervening.
Yeah, because because I annoy them. Oh my God, she looks like me.
She does, doesn't she? It's not just me. Like it's kind of uncanny.
She white. She looks like me.
Yeah,
And clearly she does not like combing her hair like me.
I would research her and find out as much as you can about. Yeah,
oh my. I'm just looking at more of the pictures. I'm looking at how she does her hair, how she styles it. Like I tie
yeah.
my hair. I have those bandana. Oh my goodness. If the llamas came to find me and asked me what I would pick the right ones.
You know what? I think it's the Fae that brought this to me because I'm Celtic. I come from Fifeshire. My family comes from Fifeshire. So yeah, they're bringing this information to me to give to you. So
What am I seeing here? Oh my God. That's crazy. Like we style our hair the same way. We have like all the band and the ties. How she likes to tie her hair. I love
yeah,
it.
you could do tours and like play her, right? Because tarot is huge right now.
So I think we started this talking about my tarot. So I started my YouTube tarot and I was so scared of putting because this was the first sort of creative project that I was putting out there.
Don't be scared. Don't be
And
scared.
so I did it and I enjoyed it, but it was such a chore moving from because I have been in the corporate world for so long. Like I really had switched off a lot of stuff. Like I've always had Reiki clients, and I've always read for people and I've always coached, but it was such a very, very small part of my life. And now having the space and time to do it, I like really opened it up to take up more of my day and my focus, my energy. And so I did it. And then I just didn't do it anymore.
I think you should.
On the cards were actually restricting me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're blocked. You felt blocked.
I felt that the cards because I wanted to stay true to the tradition because again, having been taught the craft in the traditional way, like I was not taught. I was taught witchcraft, and then I was taught the craft. And the craft of the witchcraft. I mean, think of Wicca as the child, the great great grandchild of the craft. And so I was taught. I was invited into 2 Wiccan schools, 2 Wiccan covens. And the first one was such an old one that it was the craft. And the other one was Wicca. So I saw the difference. This is the first time I actually saw the difference. And so I believe in, I see the value in the tradition because it has a culture, it has a history, it has.
There's a darkness though too. There's a real dark side, right?
It is. And I think that all of that is part of the story. And I think that if you want to go into a particular genre, I think that you should really embrace all of it and become a true master of it. And as your mastery unfolds, you can take and leave as you choose and as resident, as you feel aligned, but I believe in the process.
Do you have an apprentice, Serafina? Do you have an apprentice right now?
I do not.
No. Have you ever taken an apprentice?
I have.
And?
He's doing really well.
Oh, good. Okay. That's awesome.
I never saw him as my apprentice. He just sort of showed up on a dating site in a chat.
Oh, interesting.
That's
interesting.
And his tattoo spoke to me, and we just started talking about spiritual stuff. And I attuned him to Reiki, and I became some sort of a mentor. Something that I really, really resist because
You don't like that? Yeah, I don't like that either.
Because I think the age of gurus is past.
Yes, I agree. I agree
Um,
100%.
So I was a reluctant teacher, very reluctant, still am.
I think that's the best kind of teacher to have, is one that has humility, that has dealt with their ego. I mean, I think of Merlin and Arthur, and Merlin is trying to encourage Arthur to see through his own eyes. He's not trying to teach him to mimic what Merlin does. He's trying to get him to listen to the goddess or the god within, right?
Right.
And that's real teaching. And there isn't a lot of it in this world anymore. Or if it is there, maybe it's hidden. I don't know. But that's why we're here, I think.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that what also people have to take credit for or acknowledge is that in the last few decades, we've been having to work through a really, it's sticky, murky, dense energy time. And a lot of these
So heavy,
practices
yeah.
and
So heavy.
traditions were designed to help you find a lighter path through it. And I also have to take note that while I love the traditions and the process and I love the history, and I think that it's important to know that, I also have to take note that the fact that a lot of these things are not necessarily needed today because it's a very different energy. It's a very different time.
Yeah.
Are lighter. There are a lot less obstacles. Um, you don't have to go through 3 lifetimes to deal with karma.
No, you can deal with it in one lifetime.
Instantaneous.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have
Yeah.
to. You don't have to.
You don't have to carry it around.
Read tarot to
Yeah.
divinate. You don't have to read tarot.
No. Is
But
that
I
why you
think if you're
resist?
gonna read tarot,
You know what I think? You know what I think you should do on your, if you want to do a tarot channel, I think this is a really good idea.
right?
Do it in black and white. So you shoot it on Zoom, but then convert it to black and white. Dress exactly like Pamela Coleman Smith. Use the Rider Waite deck and do it as a way of honoring the history that you've learned, and that way it's like a historical journey, right? It's not necessarily a practice, it's more of a storytelling. So it's got entertainment value, and then it has historical value, and then also educational value for people that are interested in learning those old practices.
Right. And when I think, I and people who want to do tarot, they don't. I think that if it is that you want to do tarot to help people, you don't necessarily have to learn it in the traditional way. That's no.
I just do it. I do Reiki too. I just do it. I'm not certified.
And exactly, and I don't intend that to be something to stop people from doing it. But I think that just like the conversation that is put forward towards cultural appropriation, that whenever you're doing anything or something, there should be a reverence and appreciation for the struggle, the process,
And where it came from, right? The origin,
the trauma, the origins. And I think the tarot is in that way as well. I agree. Wicca, paganism, shamanism, the indigenous practices that people that seem to be very, very popular, that is sold as e-courses on Coursera.
Yeah, well, there's more false light there. I've been connecting with Native communities all the way from northern BC all the way down into the Okanagan. That's the clan here is the Okanagan Native band, and they're very aware about how they're being marketed right now. The popularity is being marketed. Yes. You know,
humanism is so popular. You can learn, you can do specialities. My favorite thing was a specialty on Maori shamanism.
Right.
Being an ex um, Pacific Islander in a past life. I understand that, and having those memories, that nobody chooses that path. You don't choose that. That is chosen
No.
for you. You are chosen. And it's not that you are chosen by spirit, you are chosen by the people. That is a
Yeah.
title that is given to you. It is
I reject it.
the way.
I reject it all the time. Like there are native bands north of here. They call me their shaman. I'm like, I'm not your shaman. Do not call me that. I am not your shaman. I don't want it.
Yeah, that is not something that people
No.
choose.
No,
You are
no,
chosen. You are
no.
chosen by the community that you serve.
Yeah. And you have to, but you have to accept it too, right? You have to say, yeah, I'll hang out here and be your, your medicine man. I'm a nomad. I like to move around too much. I can't be tied down that way.
And so it becomes learning it online
Yeah.
in this way is, I think, not honoring the traditions. And I think it becomes more of a curiosity than a calling.
Yeah.
And I have some challenges with regards to that. And I understand that people want access to knowledge because this is the information age and people want to learn about not. Okay, great. Learn as much as you can. That's what it's there for. Learn. Learn so that you have respect. But don't automatically decide, okay, since you have this very small body of knowledge, that you can take the badge and you can put on and walk around.
And I've never felt comfortable offering tarot online. I've never like I have my comedy show where I've kind of combined comedy and a little bit of tarot. But I'm doing it in a way to remind people that tarot was a game. It still is a game. Life is a game.
Right.
And it's important that we have fun and that we no matter what the cards tell us or no matter what spirit tells us, we still can try to take things lightly so that things aren't so heavy, right? So that's the underlying message. And then there's a lot of silliness and musical and artistic guests as well. But that's my mission on that show anyways, on that particular show. Yeah. So it is irreverent. So I apologize for that. Some of it is irreverent.
No, but comedy is more than just art. Comedy is healing. And there is space in therapeutics for the clown.
Yeah. The sacred clown, right? Yes.
It is a sacred archetype. Clown. And the trickster, Anansi, Coyote, Fox, all of these tricksters, they have their place in the chaos world. Yes, you did put us. You did put that you were a
you didn't see that. You didn't see that.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a trickster. You called me out. That's okay.
It is.
I'm the fool. I'm the fool. Like, that's my role, right? I'm the courtyard fool. I'm the sacred clown. I'm here to tear things down because the people that are running things have gotten out of hand. And that's what the fools do, right? Sometimes the fool is the smartest guy in the room, right?
Yes.
But everybody thinks he's an idiot. Yeah. And that's our power.
Yes. I think this is a line from a Jane Austen novel. What do I live for but to make sport for my neighbors? As in
what do I live for but to make sports for my neighbors?
And be entertained as well. So basically be a fool for the neighbors to laugh at, and they're thinking I'm a fool. I'm actually laughing at them thinking that I'm a fool when I'm actually really the smart one.
I like that. I like that a lot. I have not read that book. I should make a point of reading it.
I think it's in Pride and Prejudice, one of my favorite books.
Pride and Prejudice. Yeah. And how does that starts where a young, a youngish bachelor moves in next door. Is that how that book starts?
Yeah, it starts. Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of bachelors move in next door, and all the women go a little crazy.
Maybe that'll happen to you later today. Maybe
Again, it's that
again.
dramatic love long dramatic. Love is pain. Love is pain.
Yeah, well, maybe
And
someone will move in
I'm
next to
telling
you,
I
right?
don't want that dynamic entertainment to watch in other people's lives. I do not want
You
that
don't need it.
myself. I've gone through significant amount of time to remove those programs. I've had a really good foundation now. I've really built up
Yeah.
what I want. If I have a twin, do I really want? I don't know. I don't
You
know.
have to want it, right? You have to want it. And
No,
see,
everything that you
you're
say a
two on the
twin
fence.
is, everything that you say a twin is, that what you say sounds great. What
It's
I
not all great.
I know what I hear about other people going through, don't want it. Don't
Yeah.
want it. I'll tell you a story, right? So, oh my God, all my relationship histories is just gonna be in the world, and everybody's gonna. And the people, and I think some of these people actually listen, and I'm
That's okay.
try.
That's
And if
okay.
I call your name by accident, this is a disclaimer. If I call your name by accident,
It's all right.
try
It's
and
all
edit
right.
out, right? Okay, so there was this guy, and we met, and I think we went on a couple dates or whatever it is. And as we were getting to know each other, like memories of traumatic history together came up, where
Uh-oh.
he's white, he's white, very white. He's
Very
actually
white. It's pale like me. Yeah.
very white. And when I say very white, in the fact that he is of the 1%.
Oh, is he British? Is he very British as well?
He is Trinidadian. Oh my God.
Trinidadian. Okay.
But he is of the 1%.
Is he listening? Is he probably listening?
Listening. He's probably
Okay.
listening. And he's so he'll know who he is. He's 1%. And from a family whose name is synonymous with privilege. And
I hope he invests in the movie project that we mentioned earlier.
yeah,
If he is listening, please
so,
invest
okay,
in the movie
so
project.
things just did not go well, because what I found is
Okay.
that we were repeating the same patterns from the last relationship.
Okay.
I was like, so I asked, like, what is this that's going on? Because I don't want it. I don't want it. And so in a past experience, and I want to call it a past experience, I don't necessarily want to call it a past life, because all my lives are like, this is my life. All of the lives is my life, right? So in a past experience of myself, I was a quadroon in Louisiana. So I was.
Sorry, what is a quadroon? I don't know what.
Quadroon is a quarter Black person, 3/4
Quarter Black.
white,
Okay.
quarter Black, right?
Okay.
And so this was he was a wealthy white landowner in Louisiana, and I was the city wife, which is what the quadroon is, right?
Okay.
So as a quadroon, you would tie your hair in public, because I had hair like I had now. It was sort of a very light, sort of a bronzy, blondish, reddish sort of curl, because I was 3/4 white. And there was a whole industry around the proselytization of this group of women, in the fact that the children, the girls, were brought up to be white, because there was a fetishization of this mixed Black woman.
It's an interesting word, quadroon. It's a very interesting sounding word. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost erotic, right? Quadroon. It's yeah.
Everything about them was considered erotic. You were considered exotic.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the Christians, I'm having experience. A lot of the Christians, a lot of the Christians in that time, because it was New Orleans, it was Louisiana, very, very Christian, they were still in charge of the city, right? And they understood that a lot of the men had this fetishization of these women. So they passed laws that you couldn't have your hair uncovered, even though you were not a slave, even though you were free, because it was considered beautiful and arousing. But they made you ashamed of it.
Well,
So you had to you would wrap your hair, and you would, when you're in the street, and then you would only have your hair down in the dances. And these dances were where quadroon women would meet their potential partners. So you were
wow.
the city wife. So you were
The city wife. Okay, interesting.
You had legal title. You had the house in the city, and your children would be given your name. There were parts of your estate that would be, it's very much contractual. Your mother
So it's a contract.
would meet with their person, and they would draw up contracts for because you're a mistress, essentially, because they had their legal wife on the plantation on the outskirts.
Yeah.
And so it was contractual. So he would want this woman and she would become his mistress. But
so were they paid or were they given land, or were they given a home?
They were given land, they were given title, they were and this is how I think the mothers felt, because white men have always had Black mistresses. But this industry came up specifically because they knew that that was going to happen anyway. They made this industry to protect the women and the children that would be born from these.
See, now I'm wondering where my Black mistress is. Where's my quadroon? I don't have a quadroon.
No, I don't know if it happened in Canada. I don't know if it happened in Canada. But so this was an industry, and it was really born to protect. Like a lot of people they cry shame on it and they throw shade on it, but it really was to protect the women, because it was going to happen anyway. And what used to happen before this industry, and what happened in other parts of the country where they didn't have this sort of arrangement, was that you would be a mistress and then you'd be kicked out, and you would be, after he died, if he didn't put things in place, you were left in poverty, your children.
Oh, that's terrible. So you didn't get to keep your title.
Exactly. So
it was tied to the other person.
Yes. So in Louisiana, you were given legal title. You were regarded as the city wife. You were given a house in your name in the city. What would be given to you? And again, a lot of the men, because this is a fetish, they rarely fell in love. They fell into lust. And so they would have arrangements for a few years.
And then they would grow tired of it because it wasn't love. Yeah.
So you would make the arrangements of what you would receive during the time and what would be yours before. So it was very contractual.
Yeah.
I had this sort of arrangement with this person. And where I was the hidden woman, because I was out in public in the city, but I was hidden from.
Was this in this life? Just to clarify, this was in this life? This is a past life.
In this life and in the other life too.
And in the other life. So the same guy. The same soul.
That was
interesting.
Him. He was the white, very well.
Does he know that he was about this past life as well?
No, he's when he listens.
Oh, when he listens, he'll find out on this episode.
Yeah, he will.
Oh man, please invest, sir. Please invest in our movie project. Serafina wants to play a bog witch. I've promised her a part, and we need money. A lot of money. Keep the fairies happy.
So yeah. So I just realized that a lot of the similar sort of themes were coming up, and I was like, okay, and then this is like, not doing that. Not doing that. Not doing that. if I have to learn about love and unconditional love, I want a different story. Give me a
So
different.
that was, so you were just, it was just sex, right? There was no real
No, there
love.
was.
Oh, there was love.
There was
Okay.
love. There was
Okay.
fetishization. There was
Yeah.
love. There was
Okay.
restriction. There was fear. Oh my God, I really am playing it out in another one. Okay. So, there was fear. There was.
You edit? You don't edit these, right?
Sorry?
You don't edit these at all, right? You just air them? No. You're like me. I just put it out. Yeah.
So there was difference in culture, there was different in ethnicity, there was different in financial circumstances, there was power dynamics differences. And being able to love and have a balanced relationship through these differences. And still being able to respect the person, being able to be yourself, being true to who you are, supporting the other person, basically codependency stuff, right?
Codependency. Yeah. I know it. I know it well. Yeah.
Right. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. That time was
Yeah.
too traumatic. I'm not doing this again. If I have to go through these themes, I want somebody else. Please.
You want an equal partnership, right? You want something where you
I
both
did
have
not
your,
want him.
yeah, you didn't want him at all.
I didn't want to
No.
have to go through that with him again. Just give me a different flavor, give me a different person. I did that with him. I didn't know how it was going.
Do you feel that you've learned the lesson? Because there's probably a reason that you went through it more than once. So there's probably a lesson there, right?
This second, like a few seconds ago, realized that I might actually be doing that again.
Oh no. No. Well, there's something to learn. I don't know. There must be.
But at least, my kids won't be ginger. So
yeah. How many kids do you have?
Don't know who that is. I don't know. You have no idea who I am. I'm just putting that out there in the universe.
Yeah, there you go.
So for the listeners, if you don't know who that is, you don't know at all.
You don't need to know. What you don't know can't hurt you. Right? Yeah. All right. Was there anything else? Oh, I guess I should plug my show. I have Gong Show Tarot on YouTube. Please watch Gong Show Tarot. I have season 1 and we're in the middle of season 2. There's also a very special interview with Joan of America. She is a new to music. That's out on YouTube as well. And then on Spotify, I have Wednesday Morning Coffee is my regular show. And then I have a new show called Channeling Hunter, which is loosely based on the books by Hunter S. Thompson.
Right. And I need to ask about the Japanese streetwear.
The Japanese, Yukio Hishika. If you go to yukiohishika.com and use the code TIMV30, then you can get, I think it's 30% off.
That was a question mark for me. I was like, okay.
30% off. Yeah, it is sort of, if you like beanies, if you like hoodies, but they have everything. They have print dresses. Right. I'm sure you probably wear a lot of print dresses in Trinidad and Tobago because the weather is so warm there. Mm-hmm. They probably have swimwear. Do you surf? I noticed you posted a couple of pictures where you're out in the ocean.
Yes, I do surf. It was a long time ago.
Do you still surf? Could you teach surfing? No. Okay.
No. But
I want to learn.
I can teach swimming.
Swimming. Oh, okay.
I'm actually signing up this week to do my teacher training.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, Serafina. Can I rebroadcast this on my channel? Can you send me a link?
Yeah, sure, you can.
You'll allow that? Okay. Yeah. You don't mind? Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much.
Because
I appreciate you having me on.
To figure out how to pull the audio out of this to clean it up in Audacity and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have met you. I feel like we're maybe kindred spirits that are somehow connected through the fairies. Yeah, I think so. And I think, to me, you're Pamela Coleman Smith. I would look into that.
That just totally blew my mind because she looked.
Yeah, it blew my mind too.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, thanks for having me on.
You too. Bye.
Okay, bye.